Hi everyone. I welcome you on my channel, English. Today you are going to watch the video of English Class 10th. I am sure that you will like this video. Watch the full video and don't forget to like and subscribe this channel and share this video to the other students, so that they also may get the benefits of it. Thank you very much. Now enjoy the video.
The Proposal is a one-act play about the tendency among rich families to use marriage as means to increase their wealth. In the story, Lomov, a rich man, goes to his wealthy neighbor, Chubukov's house with a proposal to marry daughter Natalia. However, all three of them fight with each other over small issues. Even when the proposal is made, they continue with their quarrels. There are three main characters in this play. Stepan Stepanovich Chubukov is a landowner and the father of a young girl named Natalia. Natalia Stepanovna is a young girl. She is fussy and argumentative. Ivan Vasilievich Lomov is a young man who wishes to marry Natalia. He is also very argumentative. The play begins in a drawing room of Chubukov's house. Ivan Lomov comes to meet Chubukov. Chubukov is extremely happy to meet him. He is surprised to see Lomov wearing a formal dress and asks him if he is going somewhere. Lomov informs him that he has come to meet him because he needs his help. Chubukov thinks that Lomov must have come to borrow money from him and states that he wouldn't give him any money. Finally, Lomov tells that he has come to ask for Natalia's hand for marriage. Chubukov gets very excited after hearing about the proposal. He hugs and kisses Lomov. He informs Lomov that he has been waiting for this proposal since a long time. He even guarantees that Natalia would also agree to the proposal and goes to call her. As Chubukov leaves, Lomov is left alone in the drawing room. He starts talking to himself. He finds Natalia to be a good housekeeper. She is well educated and not bad looking. He thinks that he needs to get married now because he is 35 years old and needs to live a quiet and peaceful life. He also thinks that he is always restless and cannot sleep properly. In fact, we, readers, find Lomov getting overexcited and getting nervous while stating the proposal. Natalia enters the drawing room and is surprised to see Lomov. She welcomes Lomov and starts talking about the work in the fields. Suddenly, she notices Lomov's dress and inquires if he is going to a ball. Ball means a party. Lomov is about to tell her the purpose of his visit. But instead of talking about the proposal, Lomov tells her about the good relations between Lomov's and Chubukov's. He also mentions about oxen meadows that he has inherited from his aunt. After hearing Lomov calling oxen meadows as his own, Natalia tells Lomov that the oxen meadows does not belong to him. They actually belong to Chubukov. An argument begins over the oxen meadows. Both of them constantly state that the meadows are owned by them. Lomov offers to show documents to prove his claims. He clarifies that the oxen meadows were once a subject of dispute between their families. His aunt's grandmother gave its free use to the peasants of Natalia's father's grandfather. The peasants used to make bricks for the grandmother. Since peasants used the meadows for 40 years, Chubukov started considering the land to be theirs. But now they belong to Lomov. Natalia does not agree and sticks to her point that those meadows belong to them. She insists that the land has been owned by them for nearly 300 years. Both Lomov and Natalia insist that the land is not worth a lot of money, but they want the land as a matter of principle. Lomov offers to make meadows as a present to Natalia. Natalia also says that she can make meadows a present to Lomov. Chubukov enters the room and gets to know the reason for the argument. He supports Natalia and tells Lomov that oxen meadows are owned by them. The quarrel increases to such an extent that Lomov and Chubukov start abusing each other and their families. Chubukov asks Lomov not to talk to him so disrespectfully as he is twice of his age. Lomov calls Chubukov a land grabber and threatens to take Chubukov to the court. This angers Chubukov, who cites that Lomov's grandfather was a drunkard and his younger aunt Nastasia ran away with an architect. he also calls Lomoy a villain, a scarecrow and a monster who has the courage to propose. All this excites Lomov and his health deteriorates. Finally, Chubukov asks Lomov to leave his house and never come back again. As soon as Lomov leaves, Chubukov tells Natalia that Lomov had come to propose her for marriage. When Natalia hears this, she almost faints and starts crying. She blames Chubukov for irritating Lomov and asks him to bring Lomov back. Chubukov goes to get Lomov back. Lomov enters the house again. Natalia tells him that the oxen meadows belongs to Lomov and shifts the conversation. Then they start talking about dogs. Lomov tells Natalia that his dog, Guess, is the best dog. Natalia again objects to Lomov's claims and calls her dog Squeezer to be better than Guess. Again, an argument begins. Both of them list the qualities of their dogs and claim their dog to be better than the other. Chubukov also joins the argument, and again it grows to such an extent that they start abusing each other. While they are arguing, Lomov's condition worsens and he falls onto an armchair. Both Natalia and Chubukov think that he has died and start crying. They think that Natalia's chance of getting married has gone. After some time, Lomov comes to his senses. Chubukov tells Lomov that Natalia is ready for marriage and that they should get married soon. He does not want to lose even a single moment and joins their hand. He asks them to kiss each other and blesses them. But again, they start arguing about their dogs, while Chubukov calls everyone for champagne to try to quiet her daughter. What kind of a man is Lomov? Lomov is a man of 35 years old. He is really a very funny and comical character who came to propose Natalia. But he is so nervous and excited that he continues quarreling with Natalia over small things and fails to make the proposal. He has no confidence and no self-control. How does Lomov react when Chubukov says that he is not used to misbehave by a young man like Lomov? Lomov reacts by saying that Chubukov thinks that he is a fool. He says that he cannot talk to him calmly and politely as he is making a false claim to his property. He further accuses Chubukov of being a grabber. He also threatens to take Chubukov to the court. How does Lomov come to Chubukov's house? For what does he come? How is he received? Lomov came to Chubukov's house in the evening dress with gloves on. Lomov came to propose Chubukov's daughter Natalia for marriage. Lomov is treated with respect by Chubukov, who also felt happy. Describe oxen meadows. How were they a source of quarrel between Lomov's and Natalia's family? Oxen Meadows is a land wedged between birch woods and the burnt marsh. It becomes the source of quarrel between Lomov's and Natalia's family as both of them lay claim over it. Lomov tries to prove that the Oxen Meadows were given to Natalia's great-grandfather's peasants for free use. Because of using it for 40 years, they had started thinking that the meadows belonged to them, while Chubukov's contest contradict Lomov's claims. Among neighbors, we should have cordial relations and not lose our temper. How do Natalia and Lomov lose their temper on trivial issues? Neighbors must have a cordial relationship, which Lomov and Natalia lacked. When Lomov came to Chubukov's house to ask for Natalia's hand in marriage, Chubukov became extremely happy. When Natalia entered the house, she also talked politely with Lomov. At the moment when they started talking about a stretch of land called Oxen Meadows, they started arguing over its ownership, claiming the land to be theirs. Chubukov also started arguing in favor of Natalia and cursed Lomov. As soon as this argument got over, Lomov and Natalia again started arguing over whose dog was better. These arguments show that they both lost their tempers on trivial issues and forgot about the marriage proposal. They should have followed the principle of forgive and forget. They should not complain and blame each other for trivial things. They should develop mutual understanding and help each other. The proposal of the marriage was forgotten amidst the arguments over petty things. Which right approach should have been followed by Lomov and Natalia? Lomov came to Chubakov's to ask Natalia's, his MS daughter's, hand for marriage. They were neighbors since long and at the right age to marry. When Lomov was about to propose Natalia, they started arguing over a piece of land called Oxen Meadows, claiming it to be theirs. Her father also got into the argument and cursed Lomov. All this while they forgot about the proposal. But when Lomov left, Chubakovs remembered about the proposal and told Natalia about it. She immediately called Lomov back, and then they again started to argue over their dogs. All three of them claimed their dog to be better than others. Again, they forgot about the proposal amidst fighting over trivial things. This would not have happened if they had followed a right approach to talk calmly to each other. Natalia and Lomov should have understood that Oxen Meadows would have belonged to both if they got married to each other. They should have been polite and patient to each other instead of being rude and stubborn. Oxen Meadows and dogs are petty things to argue over in front of a marriage proposal. Neighbors must have a cordial relationship which Lomov and Natalia do not have. Describe the first fight between them. Neighbors must have a cordial relationship which Lomov and Natalia lack. Lomov comes to his neighbor Chubakov's house to ask for his daughter, Natalia's hand in marriage. When he meets Natalia, it seems that they do share a cordial relationship as both of them talk about Natalia's fields. However, they both soon start quarreling over the ownership of a piece of land called Oxen Meadows. The quarrel starts when Lomov calls the Oxen Meadows his own. On hearing this, Natalia objected and claimed that the Oxen Meadows belongs to her family. Lomov even claimed to have the documents that proved that the land was his property. He also tells Natalia that his aunt's grandmother gave those meadows to her father's grandfather for free use. Now, because the peasants had used the land for 40 years, they started thinking it as their own. But Natalia refuses to believe it and insists that they belong to her family. This quarrel is even joined by Chubakov, Natalia's father. However, instead of resolving the issue, he gets into an argument with Lomov. They even started abusing each other, and after some time, Lomov leaves their house. All of these show that they do not share a cordial relations with each other and fight over small issues.